Hey everyone, it's Sukanya. If you're looking for how to score full marks in your ICSE mathematics paper, then you are in the right place. I am about to reveal some easy ways and MCQ hacks to score good marks in your first mathematics board examination. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel so that you never miss my videos helping you with your exams. So without any further delay, let's get started with the last minute prep for your examinations. The very first tip that I have for you is when you are solving your mathematics questions, never look at the options provided to you. When you get a sum, first read the sum and solve the sum on your own. And once you get the answer, then only you tally with the MCQs. What happens that once you look at the options, you tend to make mistakes and probably you make some calculation error, and one of the choices may contain the incorrect value that you just calculated. First solve the sum yourself and then only you go to the options. The first chapter is GST or Goods and Service Tax. Before GST, there were 13 different indirect taxes in India. These 13 indirect taxes were then replaced by GST. GST is levied by the central and the state government and provide for a single and streamlined process. Now, GST is a common tax for all goods and services. GST can be of three types: CGST, SGST, and IGST. When the transaction is within a state, or as we say intrastate, then the GST levied is the CGST and IGST. CGST or the central GST is the tax which is collected by the central when the sales are within the state. And SGST or the state GST is the tax collected by the state. Now, this GST amount is equally shared by the central and the state. On the contrary, when there is an interstate transaction, that is, transaction between two or more different states, then one GST is levied, and that is the integrated GST or IGST. And this GST is collected by the central government. Now, you need to make sure that when you are reading a question, you need to see whether the transactions are within the state or it is outside the state. And accordingly, you have to calculate the GST. So for GST, you need to know the basic formula of cost price, selling price, marked price, discount, and on what value the GST is being calculated. There is output GST and input GST. If the output GST is more than input GST, then the GST payable is equal to output GST, that is the GST on sale, minus the input GST, GST on expenses purchase. If input GST is more than output GST, then GST credit is equal to no GST to be paid. So here are a few examples questions which you can get from the GST section. The next chapter is banking. From banking, you need to know the types of bank accounts, that is the saving bank account and recurring deposit accounts. You need to know how the interest is calculated. The features are you have to find the minimum balance on the 10th day and up to the last day of each month given in the passbook. This minimum balance so obtained works as the principal for the month. You have to add all the principal amounts obtained for different months of the particular period under consideration, and you have to calculate the simple interest on the sum obtained in the previous step for 1 month at the rate prevailing at that time. So you need to know the formula for interest, which is P into R into T by 100, where P is the principal amount, R is the rate of interest, and T is the time. These are the formula for the calculation of recurring deposits which you need to know. For shares and dividends, you need to know the types of shares, preference shares and equity shares. You need to know the terms nominal value, face value, market value. The face value is the original value of a share stated in a certificate. The market value is the price at which a share can be bought or sold in the market. If the market value of a share is same as its nominal value, the share is said to be at par. If the market value of a share is more than its nominal value, then the share is said to be above par or at a premium. If the market value of a share is less than its nominal value, then the share is said to be below par or at a discount. Dividend is when a company finalizes its account at the end of 12 months period, and at that time it declares the profit made by it during the preceding year, which is to be divided among the shareholders. The profit which a shareholder gets for his or her investment from the company is known as the dividend. So here are a few formula that you must know in order to solve questions from shares and dividend. Also, what do these statements mean? You may get a question like what do these statements mean, and you can get options to select. 15% of rupees 100 shares at rupees 145. Well, this would mean that the face value of one share is rupees 100. The market value of one share is rupees 145. The dividend or the profit on one share is 15% of rupees 100, that is rupees 15 per annum, and the rate of return per annum is 15 by 145 into 100%. Linear inequations can be a very scoring part for you students. Now, there are certain rules which you need to know while you are solving inequation. The representation of the inequality solution on the number line. You may have to choose or interpret from the number line. You must know that a hollow circle on the number line means the end of a range with a strict inequality, and a darkened circle means the end of a range involving an equality as well. When an equation with one variable can be represented in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, it is known as quadratic equation. Every quadratic equation gives two values of unknown variable, and these values are called the roots of the equation. According to the zero product rule, whenever the product of two expressions is 0, at least one of the expressions is 0. You have to know the midterm factorization method for solving these quadratic equations. You may be given a quadratic equation and you need to find whether the given root of the equation is right or not, or you might be asked to find the root from the given choices. Next, you have the quadratic formula. You can use this formula to calculate the value of x. You have to know the nature of the roots. In the first case, a, b, c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the roots are real and equal. If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then the roots are real and unequal. And if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, the roots are imaginary and not real. Now, if a, b, c are rational numbers and a is not equal to 0, then the roots can be of the following types. B square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the roots are rational and equal. B square minus 4ac is greater than 0 and b square minus 4ac is a perfect square, then the roots are rational and unequal. B square minus 4ac is greater than 0 and b square minus 4ac is not a perfect square, then the roots are irrational and unequal. And finally, if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then the roots are imaginary. You might get questions to identify the type of root. You can also get problems based on quadratic equations. You have to be very careful which variable you will be assigning as x, and then you will calculate. Here are some examples that you can get for your examination. If a given sequence is an arithmetic progression, you first need to know the first number, which is the first term, which is a, the common difference, which is d, and n is the number of terms. So these are some of the formula which you must know when you are solving questions from arithmetic progression. The next chapter is factorization. This is a given polynomial. If a0 is not equal to 0, then n is called the degree. An is known as the constant term. A0, A1, A2 are called the coefficients of the polynomial. If A0 is not equal to 0, then A0 x to the power n is called the leading term and A0 is called the leading coefficient of the polynomial. If all coefficients are 0, then fx is called 0 polynomial. And the degree of a polynomial is 0 if and only if it is a non-zero constant polynomial. So why am I saying these? Because you might have to identify these terms from a given polynomial. You might get a question like that. The remainder theorem states that if a polynomial fx is divided by x minus alpha, then the remainder is equal to f alpha. Here is an example of remainder theorem. Next is the factor theorem. If fx is a polynomial and alpha is a real number, then x minus alpha is a factor of fx such that if f alpha is equal to 0. Here is an example of factor theorem. Questions from this section can be pretty easy and simple. You just have to identify the factor theorem or the remainder theorem that you are going to use and you will get straight away to your answer. Ratio and proportion. If a and b are two quantities of same kind, then the fraction a by b is called the ratio of a to b. It is represented as a is to b. The first term is known as the antecedent and the second term is known as the consequent. Here are some facts about ratio that you can go through once. Composition of ratios. When two or more ratios are multiplied together, they are said to be compounded. So, for compounded ratio of A is to B and C is to D is AC is to BD. A ratio compounded with itself is called a duplicate ratio. So, the duplicate ratio of A is to B is going to be A square is to B square. Similarly, we have triplicate ratio, subduplicate ratio, subtriplicate ratio, and the reciprocal ratio of A is to B is going to be B is to A. For proportion, an equality of two ratios is called proportion. If four quantities are in proportion, then the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the middle terms. This is called the cross product rule. Here are some examples for you. Some properties of ratio and proportion. The first one is invertendo. If A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then B is to A is proportional to D is to C. Alternando. If A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then A is to C is proportional to B is to D. Componendo is when A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then A plus B is to B proportional to C plus D is to D. Dividendo uses if A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then A minus B is to B is proportional to C minus D is to D. Componendo and dividendo. If A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then A plus B is to A minus B is proportional to C plus D is to C minus D. Questions are expected from these componendo dividendo sections. Matrices. A rectangular arrangement of numbers in the form of horizontal and vertical lines is called a matrix. The horizontal lines are called rows and the vertical lines are called the columns. Each number of a matrix is called its element. Now, the order of a matrix is if a matrix contains m number of rows and n number of columns, then it's a matrix of order m is to n. You have to know the different types of matrices like the row matrix, column matrix, square matrix, zero or null matrix, identity matrix. You need to know all of these. You need to know how you're supposed to add matrices, how you're supposed to subtract matrices. You are also supposed to know the multiplication of matrices. For similarity of triangles, you need to know the different conditions by which two triangles can be similar, that is the AA, SAS, SSS. You need to know when and where which axiom of similarity is needed to be used, because you will get two triangles and you have to find how they are similar, and you need to then find out various values like value of a particular side or the value of a particular angle using the concepts of similarity. When you're solving similarity, you must know the basic geometric knowledge of perpendicular, vertically opposite angles, bisectors. You need to know sum of angles of triangles and so on. So that was all for your mathematics paper. Check out the playlist How to Score Full Marks in Your ICSE Exams. The link is in the description box. Subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you do not miss more videos helping you with your exams. I have listed some important videos for you. The links are again in the description box, so do check them out, and I will see you in my next video. All the best for your exams. Take care. Bye bye.